thrash metal guitar method here, guys, for rhythms. We're about to learn that riff that you just heard, and actually that's the pre-chorus of the song Overcometh off my latest album, Overcometh. You guys know I've been putting together a series of videos showing you how to play these riffs, but also just kind of turning them into a greater lesson, just sharing some ways you can take riffs like this and of course expand on them to make them your own. Now I do have tabs and backing tracks available for this for my members. I've got a link in the description of this video going into more detail about that. And on that note, guys, real quick, some of you know I am on Patreon. I've got a question to ask you at the end of this video. So those of you who are my hardcore followers, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please stay tuned till the end. I've got something I want to ask in regards to that. I've got something new that I may be implementing that's going to be far better for you, okay? So hang around for that. That said, guys, let's jump right into this lesson. As always, guys, let's play this out in the open, and then we'll break this down. This riff is actually pretty easy when you break it down, and well, let's get to that now. So we'll make it easy first. There are basically four parts. Well, okay, they're high level. There are two parts. There's one part where I end on that C power chord. Part two, really replicating the same thing, but we end on an F power chord. Okay, so those are the two parts at the high level. Now, within each part, and these are really kind of like the same thing, okay, there are four different parts. Those first three parts are the exact same thing. That fourth part is where we go to that power chord. What I mean by this is, listen to this, okay? I'll put it on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? One, two, three, four. Okay, those first three sections, they're basically the same thing, right? What we're doing here, and I hope this helps, guys. I hope it helps when I break things down like this, because instead of just going into learning the riffs, like, okay, now I got to learn this. What are we doing here? There's alternate picking. There's this note. There's that note. I like to just break it down into bite-sized chunks and just kind of look at it from afar. It's like, okay, there's this part. There's that part. Oh, wait, those two parts are the same, right? So it just kind of helps simplify things before you go into actually playing the riff. We're in standard tuning, as all of you guys know. Playing my Ibanez Prestige RG1570. Love this guitar. So we are on the A string here, okay? What we're doing is like a downstroke followed by an alternate picking style, okay? So we're going to be on the open A string. We're going to hammer down on that second fret. And that's when we start the alternate picking. So it's kind of like this. And I'm about to put the tabs up here, by the way, as we go through this, okay? But I wanted just to kind of share the technique. We're just picking that one string one time, that A string one time, hammer down on that second fret. That's when we start our kind of, fast, not really even that fast, but just a more rhythmic alternate picking. So let's throw the tabs up here real quick on this first part, okay? Okay, what I'm doing before I go to that power chord, and I should have explained this first. I'll put the tabs back up again, and of course we've got that second chunk to go over as well, which again, essentially the same thing, but we're just ending on a different power chord. It's really cool how you can write riffs that kind of sound different because you just got one little minor change in there, but it just kind of breaks things up a little bit. Anyway, that's just my perspective on songwriting and riff writing. So we've got that, right? But before we go to that power chord both times, we just do a simple hammer-on pull-off. Same thing, right? Open A string, second fret, right? And then back open before we go to that power chord. So watch this closely, and I'll throw the tabs back up again after that, okay? don't even pick that part. I just kind of let it be a simple hammer-on pull-off. So let's throw up the tabs again and go over this part one more time before we go to the second section, okay? Now, part two. Guys, this is the exact same thing, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. The only thing we're doing differently here is we're going to land on the F power chord instead of the C power chord. So it sounds like this. Okay, that's it. Nothing has changed, all right? You still got the three parts, right? We're doing the alternate picking, 1, then we kind of start that again, 2, then we kind of start that again, 3. Then the fourth little section in there is when we go to the power chord, okay? Again, we're just going to the F instead of the C. Same little hammer-on pull-off technique on that A, that open A string with the second fret there. So let's throw up the tabs for that part, okay? Same thing, just ending with the F. As always, we have a little guitar chat at the end, and of course I've got something, like I said in the beginning, that I need to share with you, and I need your input on this, guys. I need your feedback on this. Real quick though, if you do not have my free metal riffs and licks practice guide, guys, grab a copy of that. There's a link in the description. That guide has literally helped thousands, just countless of other guitar players. If you have my free practice guide, hey, check out my online guitar courses. I've got Metal Riff Master that shows over 80 new metal riffs. Some of those riffs are in different keys, different methods, combining methods, all that fun stuff. So I've got that out there. If you're just starting out or just need to revisit the basics, I've got a beginner's guitar course called Metal Guitar Apprentice. Guys, links for all that good stuff, those are in the description of this video. I know we usually have our guitar chat around this time, and one thing I will say is to take this riff. I've got something I need to ask you, okay, right after this, but take this riff and I want you to expand on it. I mean, do I want you to learn my songs? Yes, guys. By the way, Overcometh is out there. It was released December 1st, 2023. I'm really excited and so happy how this whole thing came out. So do check that out. It's on all the streaming platforms. January 2024, I'll have merch and CDs and all that good stuff. So if you're watching this in December, that is coming up. But yeah, I want you to learn the songs. I'd like for you to learn my songs. I mean, it feels good when people say, hey man, I learned your song. I really dig it. But more importantly, guys, what I want for you is to take riffs and expand on them and start to make them your own, because then you start building a new skill set, right? You start developing an entirely different skill set to where you're not just learning someone else's riff, you're not just playing guitar and jamming, which all that's fun, it's great, but now you're starting to create. And that's the beautiful thing about being a metal guitar player. I guess it works with any genre, but we're playing metal today. All right, guys, so real quick, I have been on Patreon for about 1.5 years, maybe a little over a year. I'm filming this in December 2023. And real quick, if you're on my Patreon, please do not leave it if you're watching this, because I may stay on Patreon, but I'm considering changing platforms. If and when I do that, I will let you guys know on Patreon before I shut things down, if I decide to do that. So please don't leave Patreon. By the way, what I do now on Patreon and what I plan to do if I switch platforms, because I'm thinking about creating my own platform, okay? Again, you'll all be notified, okay? But what I do is I provide backing tracks that you can play along with, download and play along with, and tablature, okay? Professional tablature. I have been providing 2 to 3 of those a month for my YouTube lessons. What I want to do in 2024 going forward is to do a regular once a week thing. So you guys will be getting a lot more. So again, please, if you're on my Patreon and have not switched to the other platform, that's if I decide to do it, please hang around, okay? Because like the tabs and tracks for this lesson, that's out there. You've already got access to it. But I just want to get your opinion on Patreon in general, and just let me know, hey, do you want me to stay on Patreon, or would you guys like for me just to create my own platform to where you have a monthly thing, okay? So let me know in the description the pros and cons. Some of you I know may not even care, and that's fine too. If like, hey Jason, I'm just happy going through your videos here. Maybe you have my courses and all that stuff. So the whole idea of the monthly thing, either the Patreon or my own platform that I decided to go on, the whole idea was just to give you like a continuous flow of lessons and give you that little extra, the tabs and backing tracks. I can't provide that on YouTube here. I mean, I could play a backing track, I mean, extend the video or whatever, but I wanted you guys to have something you can physically download, right? So that's where this monthly thing comes in. And it's just that little extra for those of you who want to go that extra support level, which I do appreciate. Hey, I'm a full-time musician, guys. I don't do anything else. Everything I do for income, it revolves around my music and how I market that and all that good stuff. I'll talk more about that in future videos. I've got some of that coming up because as I learn things that help me, I want to pass those along to you and help you. I'll probably talk more about that on the Metal Mastermind platform. Those of you who know about that, that's where all my courses are housed. Not to get off track though. I'm real bad about getting off track because, you know, I've got the gift of gab. You and I could sit here and have coffee and beers and just chat all day long. On that note, guys, let me know your thoughts on the Patreon versus me starting just a brand new platform on my own, because I have the ability to do that. Let me know in the comments, and let me know if this lesson helped you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support on my new album, Overcometh. I really appreciate you guys. Until the next video, keep it metal and keep playing music.